Hello all, welcome back to Shaving with HeadBlade. Appreciate you all being here. I have a affiliate link. It's first thing in the description box. Use that link for this month. Everything that is made on that link at the end of the month will be donated to the second link, which is the GoFundMe for Kim Gray, who's one of our community members who's out of work until September with no income, and Brandon Hay has started a GoFundMe for, and I've already personally donated, and I will donate the second time in your name if I can. I don't remember what it was like when I donated, if I could put down who it was from or what, but if I can do that, I will put it down as from HeadBlade subscribers. All right, thank you very much. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. It's just a click and it's free. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're a little bit over halfway to 300. We hit 300. I'll be doing another drawing. The winner will get a gift card of their choice. They'll get a gift card to either Razor Company, Above the Chain if they're in Canada, or if they're in Europe somewhere, they'll get one to Shaving Time UK. Okay? And it will be, if you're the one that wins it for overseas in the UK, it will be a 25-pound gift card. Not 25 US dollars, 25 pound. All right. Now, with that being said, head shave time. It's Tuesday night. I just did my face shave. Now, if you saw that video, this one's coming out after it. But I have something to do Wednesday. I'm going to be gone most of the day. So I had to do both shaves Tuesday night. So that means the soap for the head shave will also be the Toja, because I want to stick with the same splash and balm to keep the same scent. You can understand that. I'm going to be using the original. This is the first one they came out with. The little Matchbox car, the HeadBlade ATX. I have the newer version of this one, which is one wheel up here. It's up on the shelf, which will be my next head shave when I use the cart the next time. No pre-shave. We're going to do this as a travel head shave. No, we're not. We could, but we're not. There's nothing up here to take the soap off the barb to stick with. There's no fuzzy there to grab it. I'll load some on the brush also. Not a lot. Still got a lot of water on the brush. I didn't shake it out enough. That's okay. It'll just help it lather up better. This is the PAA Atomic Rocket, 26 millimeter. Let me tell you what, you do not have to soak a synthetic brush like this. You can just dip them in the water, rinse them in the water, and then go to town with it. You don't have to soak it. I like soaking them. For one reason, I soak it in hot water. I like the bristles to be warm. At least for the first lather, because after that, no, I've got too much water in my bin. I'm not going to dump it. I can't. What sometimes I'll do is I'll stick this down in the water and put the brush in there, and it will warm it. But I've got way too much water in the bin to do that. That glass will flip over. Latoya, I say Latoya. You knew that was coming, right? Toja Jackson. All right, head shaver ATX. Back to front is with the grain. Good thing this thing's got snow tires on it to go through that soap, huh? Yeah, I just wanted everything to smell the same. That's the only reason I'm using the same stuff for a head shave. But I've got stuff I gotta get out in the morning and do. So, and I figured I'd be totally exhausted by the time I got home tomorrow to do the head shave tomorrow night. Plus, I wanted to have my head nice and shaved. I'm going out in public and I don't want to go looking scruffy. I don't mind going with the gouges in my head because that could have happened from anything. I could have bumped my head. I could be married again and I could have been smacked by the old lady. Who knows? Right? And it's got a pivot. See, a lot of times with this one, like in the back, I hold it like this. No pre-shave because I didn't want to. See, that first pass, these bristles were nice and warm. Now they're cooled off already. Well, it doesn't hurt or help anyway, excuse me. This bathroom is really hot tonight, so I've had the fan on high. That's the buzzing you hear. I usually have it on low, but it's been really hot. So I have it on high. So, and I got it pointed down, blowing across me down here instead of blowing at my head. And that brush is kind of right in the line of fire. So that didn't help keep it warm. Not a bit. That was drippy still. Hey guys, do me a favor. Remind me never to use that GBS razor on my head again above setting 2. Setting 3 was even much. Alright. You guys know I sit on my porch all day and I just read stupid shit all day. Different things, all kinds of things. Okay. You know how the big thing in American politics, if you're not American, you might not know this, but the big thing that the Republican Party here in this country likes to say is, yeah, the Democrats started the KKK, a hate group, and the Republicans are the ones that freed the slaves. But what they conveniently leave out, this is why you cannot trust any politician at all. I don't care what party they are. You cannot trust them. They're all liars, they're all thieves, they're all cheats, they're all scum. Civil service used to be in this country. Congress wasn't a whole year-round job. Congress was in session for a couple months a year, 3 months a year. And you went home, worked your general store, worked your farm, did whatever, worked your blacksmith shop, whatever you did, was silversmith, whatever you did, you went home and you worked that. Editor, paper editor, whatever you did, you went home and worked it. It was not supposed to be, never was intended to be, it was never supposed to be a full-time job. Because you make politicians full-time, they find ways to stick their hands in your pocket and get your money. Anyways. The Republicans always like to say, we're the ones that freed the slaves in the Civil War. Well, first of all, what a lot of people don't realize is the Civil War was not fought about slavery in the South. It was fought over the expanding territories in the West. The North wanted them to stay slave-free, and the South wanted them to be able to have slaves. So the fight about slavery was in the western states, not in the southern states. The southern states, there was already slavery. The North was okay. They were okay with that. Let's leave the slaves in the South alone. We won't screw with that. It's working. Leave it alone. They didn't want it to expand, though. So that's where the slavery comes. The war was fought because the North, Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president elected. The Republicans were staunch anti-slavery, period. Not in the South, not in the West, not nowhere. All right? And he was elected without one electoral college vote from the South. Not one. He got elected by the North. The North elected Abraham Lincoln. The South, not one electoral college vote went for Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Now let me clear that up. So the South felt unimportant, ignored, left out. So senators and representatives started staying home from Congress and not attending. And it gradually kept growing and growing. And then eventually, I think it was North Carolina was the first state, or South Carolina, North Carolina, I think, was the first state to secede from the Union. And their representatives came back home. One of them, the senator, drafted the Articles of Secession, and North Carolina withdrew from the Union. And more senators and representatives started staying home, drafting Articles of Secession, turning them in, and they started, and blocks of southern states started withdrawing from the Union. Not all at once, but in groups of like 4, until they finally had all the states that were going to withdraw. And this is how West Virginia became a state, because that part of that is now West Virginia was staunchly anti-slavery, pro-North. The rest of Virginia was pro-South, pro-slavery. So the states split, and that's how you got West Virginia and West Virginia. That's how that came about. Okay. Anyways, back to front is with against the grain. No, I'm sorry. Front to back is against the grain. I'm talking and not thinking. Okay. So anyways, so the war is won by the North. They just out-industrialized the South. In the block, they had the Navy to blockade the South so they couldn't get supplies in from England or France or anywhere else. So they basically outsupplied the South. Okay, so South loses the war. What Nobody talks about, oh, the Republicans freed the slaves, we won the war. All right, fine, you did, you freed the slaves. That was a byproduct of you winning the war. That was not why the war was originally fought. It was not about slavery in the South, it was about slavery in the West. Okay, so anyways. North wins the war. Grant gets elected president. And in 1769, just 4 years after the Civil War, just 4 years, he wants to buy Santo Domingo, which we now know as Santo Domingo is the capital of what we now know is the Dominican Republic. But the whole place used to be called Santo Domingo. He wanted to buy that. He wanted to annex it. He wanted to pay these, I think it was 16,000 residents there. It's either 16,000 or 65. I think it was 16,000 residents on Santo Domingo at the time. He wanted to pay them or pay their government because they had just won their independence from Spain and they were vulnerable. And Grant didn't want any Western or European country to come in and claim that and take it over again. And he wanted it to be protected by the United States, so he had the U.S. Navy put a blockade around it to stop any foreign ships from entering into the waters. But anyways, he wanted to annex it, pay them money, and annex it. Annex the whole country, with Santo Domingo, Mingo, whatever, which is now Dominican Republic. He wanted to annex it. But the reason he wanted to annex it, and this is what the Republicans today do not ever talk about, he was hoping that the freed slaves in the South, all these freed African Americans now, which what they were back, they're blacks, whatever, back then, he wanted them to take up residency there and turn it into a thriving farming type country, producing crops for the United States and abroad to sell abroad so they could support their own government. But he wanted all these ex-slaves who were basically farmers, he wanted them to go there and continue their lives as farmers out of the country. He wanted them to go there. He wasn't going to force anybody to go there, but he was going to make it so it would be tempting for them to go there. Free land, money to start a farm, whatever. It did not pass in the Senate. At the time, it was a 28 to 28 vote in the Senate. It needed 2/3 of majority in the Senate to pass for the United States to annex Santo Domingo. But that's what Republicans today never, ever talk about, is the fact that one of their own, Grant was a Republican, wanted to buy an island in the Caribbean for all the blacks in this country to go to. Yes, you freed them, but now you're trying to get rid of them. You're not as high and mighty and righteous as you flipping think you are. Or your party is. It's not. You conveniently overlook that little fact. And why? Because you're politicians. You're all liars, thieves, and cheats. Yes, the Democratic Party did start the KKK and did a lot of horrible things after the Civil War to terrorize blacks in the South. Yes, after the Civil War, the Republican Party did free all the blacks in the South as a side effect of the war, winning the war. It was not the purpose of the war. The purpose of the war was to preserve the Union. That's what Lincoln wanted, was to preserve the Union. Nobody was going to secede from the country that had just recently fought a war to get its independence from England. So we were going to stay whole no matter what. That's what his goal was. Everything else be damned, but that was his goal. In Congress, the fight was over whether slavery would make it to the western provinces or not. And eventually it did not, because they abolished it. But don't try and make yourselves out to be these flippin' bloody flippin' heroes that you're not. We're not racist. It's the Democrats who are racist. They're the ones that started the KKK. We freed the slaves. Then 4 years later, you tried to ship them all off to a frickin' island in the Caribbean so you didn't have to deal with them anymore. So get off your frickin' horse. Sorry, but I saw some politician saying that in a YouTube clip. Republicans freed the slaves, or Democrats started the KKK. And I'm like, well, you lying bastard, you left out a critical piece of that. You wanted to ship them off to an island. Here's the sad part. He probably didn't know. He probably did not know that little bit of history, because they're all freaking idiots. They're all idiots. The only difference between any of them is a little R or D they put after their name when they're on TV. That's it. It's the only difference between any of them. Good job. I'll be BBS when this all relaxes and pulls back in. Alum block. This healed up nicely, but it's still tender. Can't believe I did that. That one too. Anyways. Wipe the alum off, which is easier said than done. So smooth, the towel sticking to my head. My head's grabbing the towel, not wanting to let it slide. All right, now we're going to use witch hazel. Like I said, this is not a travel head shave. All right, aftershave. Smells good. Really does. I like that scent. I might get a jar of their, or two of their cream soap. Balm. Doesn't come out really. Whoa, 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 whoa. As I say that, it starts oozing out. To say, it doesn't come out really fast, and then all of a sudden it started pouring out. Okay, doesn't matter. Oh, that feels good. feels good. Nothing like a head shave, guys. Nothing like it. If you don't shave your head, you got something to look forward to in a few years. Hopefully. It is great. A head shave is one of the best things out there. It really is. Alright guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget the affiliate link so we can get some money to Kim Gray. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you all from here. Let's get to 300 pretty soon. Well, I'd say by the beginning of the month, but that'd be a stretch. That'd be like 48 people in the next 2 weeks. But if we could do it, that'd be great. I could do another giveaway. All right, do 100 people a month, be perfect. All right, we're gonna do this all the way up to 1,000. I'll be giving away a gift card all the way up, every 100 subscribers, all the way up to 1,000. When we hit 1,000, I'll think of something special to do. Maybe instead of $25 gift card, I'll do a $50 gift card, or maybe 100 or 250s. We'll do 250s. How about that? All right, we'll do that. We'll do 250s when I hit 100 or 1,000. How about that? All right, guys. Thank you very much. If I ever hit 1,000, but if I do, we'll do $250 gift cards. How about that? All right, guys. Thanks a lot for showing up for a head shave. All the Toja soap, splash, and balm. Head shaver ATX holds a lot of water. The PAA atomic rocket, still got a lot of soap in it, and like I said, the trio. All right guys, y'all take care, have a good one out there. Enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair.